I'm not ashamed of anything I've done. Oh, no, far from it. I think that my publicity, although some of it has been colorful and some of it, as in the case of this Hollywood swimming pool incident, which I'm sure everybody knows about by now, was certainly unwanted and I could have done without.
Actress and model Diana Dors arguably originated the trope of the blonde bombshell. She wasn't known as the body for nothing. A title like that can shoot you into stardom, but it also can become a burden. Studios often hesitated to hire her for the type of serious parts she craved. She had plenty of men, but hid emotional and health issues behind parties and glamour. Her death was a blow to the world, but took a major toll on perhaps the love of her life. Keep watching to learn about the unexpected death of Diana Dors and her husband. Before becoming a bombshell. Diana Mary Fluke was born October 23, 1931. Her mother was having an affair with another man at the time. When Diana was born, she admitted she wasn't sure who was the father. She developed an early interest in film. Actresses like Veronica Lake, Lana Turner, and Jean Harlow were her heroines from the age of 8. She entered a beauty contest for Soldier magazine and came in 3rd place. It eventually led her to work in local modeling classes. She also performed for local theater productions such as A Weekend in Paris and Death Takes a Holiday. She lied about her age and became the youngest student to ever study at the LAMDA, or London Academy of Musical and Dramatic Arts. She got in when she was 14 in January of 1946. She paid for tuition by modeling for the Camera Club and was signed to the Gordon Harbord Agency in her first term. Early career. It took time for Diana to break into the film world. Her first film audition didn't go as she'd hoped. She failed to get the part in Black Narcissus. It went to Gene Simmons instead. Her first successful audition was for 1947's The Shop at Sly Corner. It was during contract negotiations for that film that she developed her stage name at the suggestion of her mother Mary. She slyly said she knew the dangers of what could happen, quote, if my real name, Diana Fluke, was in lights and one of the lights blew. Her next 2 films were both in 1947, Holiday Camp and Dancing with Crime. She graduated from LAMDA in 1947 and won the London Films Cup. She also won the award for Girl Most Likely to Succeed in Films. She joined the Rank organization. When she was 15, she joined J. Arthur Rank's Charm School. She didn't enjoy it there, but was one of its most successful students. She became a major public figure and earned the nickname The Body in an August 1947 article. Her first film under the Rank organization was Streets Paved with Water, but it was canceled. She was one of the first actresses that the Rank organization intended to build into a star. That began with 1949's A Boy, a Girl, and a Bike. She continued to get other supporting roles in Here Come the Huggets, 1948's Vote for Huggets, and 1949's It's Not Cricket. Becoming a leading lady. Diana finally became a leading lady in 1949's Diamond City. She was a high-profile name by now, but didn't get every role she wanted. She said the part of Diana in The Blue Lamp was written for her, but she lost it to Peggy Evans. She also lost the lead in The Cure for Love to Dora Bryan. She appeared on stage while waiting for Diamond City to release and did well there. She appeared in productions such as The Cat and the Canary and The Good Young Men. She was contracted to Eating Studios in 1950. She hated the first film they put out, Dance Hall, calling it a ghastly film, quite the nastiest I've ever made. Critics and fans didn't share her opinion, and it went on to become a major success. She went back to the stage and then got Theater Magazine's Actress of the Year for her work in the play Man of the World. She went back to her own country for a while. She got a leading role in Worm's Eye, one of the most popular films of 1951. Her work in Britain was also getting her star power back. She was the country's best paid actress by age 25. She continued to gain notoriety, but not the type she wanted. Diamond City flopped when it finally came out. The Rank organization closed, and it almost seemed like the doors on Diana's career had closed too. But that didn't turn out to be the case. When asked how she went from a glamour girl to a dramatic actress, she credits 1956's Yield to the Night for that transition. Diana said,
I won't say it was an accident because it's been something that I've been waiting for many, many years, but it all happened last year when Lee Thompson, who is the director of the film, practically insisted on my playing this part in face of grave opposition, I may say, because there were many people who thought that I couldn't do it, and they may still. I don't know. The film hasn't been seen yet.
Her troubled relationships. Her first love was reportedly zoologist Desmond Morris in 1953. She was linked to Anthony Newey in 1948. She also got together with Michael Corbin Watfield during filming of Diamond City. Dennis Hamilton. Diana was going through a difficult personal time behind the stardom in the 50s. Her boyfriend was in jail and she'd had a secret abortion. That's when Dennis Hamilton walked in. They met while filming Lady Godiva Rides again. They were married 5 weeks later. She was loyal to him, refusing a role that came with the condition that she divorce him. He was influencing her career from behind the scenes. He would reportedly use her for sexual favors from her to producers or casting directors. He didn't even tell her about certain film deals she was offered. Despite the shady practices, Dennis did advance Diana's career. He helped raise her publicity after the otherwise unnoteworthy stage review Rendezvous. She admits he promoted her, quote, strictly as a sex symbol, never as an actress, but it served its purpose, and at the time it was fun. The couple did have fun. They had wild parties with all their famous friends. They often involved drugs, alcohol, and sex. She eventually separated from Dennis in November of 1965. She was tired of playing sex symbols and wanted to be taken seriously as an actress. Richard Dawson. She married Richard Dawson April 12, 1959. It was only 3 months after Dennis had died. They had 2 sons, Mark and Gary. They lived together until divorcing in 1966. Alan Lake. Diana and Alan Lake were married from November 23, 1986 until her death. They had 1 son, Jason. They lived together happily until both of their deaths. They stayed at Orchard Manor in Sunningdale, Berkshire. Her later years and career. Her stardom continued to grow in Britain and America through the 50s, and in 1959 she was first coined as Britain's answer to Marilyn Monroe. She had to work off major debt after divorcing Richard in the 60s. She declared bankruptcy and ended up primarily doing supporting roles, such as 1967's Danger Route. She also returned to the West End after years away in 1970 for a production of 3 Months Gone. Her career began to revive in the 70s. She leaned into her risque image and used interest from interviews to get fans back. She did win a court battle in 1974 to prevent those interviews from being turned into a book. She survived cancer twice in her life. She had surgery to remove tumors in 1982 and 83. It increased her weight at first, leading her to create a diet program. She also survived a near-fatal attack of meningitis. It seemed as if nothing could stop the body. The world rallied towards her when they heard she was sick, as shown on one of her final appearances on The Russell Hardy Show.
When you went into hospital, the newspapers are full of the headlines. The headlines are full of Dors in hospital.
That's right.
Dors dangerously ill. And you're very much loved, obviously, by people.
Well,
can you measure that?
That's very gratifying. I was inundated with flowers and get-well cards and wishes from everybody.
Her final public appearance was a cabaret on April 15, 1984. Diana's death. Diana collapsed at home with severe stomach pains and was admitted to the hospital for surgery to clear an intestinal blockage. She died at age 52 on May 4, 1984. The ovarian cancer she'd been diagnosed with 2 years prior came back and was too much for her to overcome this time. Her husband's death. Alan struggled to cope with the loss of Diana. He burned her clothes and fell into depression. He took his own life October 10, 1984. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of Diana Dors? Let us know in the comments section below.